The sun hadn't even finished rising over the concrete skyline just before 6 o'clock a.m. The air was already thick with that particular tension you only find in the early hours. Dr. Aliyah Vance was on her way to the gym. She was wearing sweatpants, a simple black hoodie, and driving her 10-year-old sedan, the type of car that tells you, "I work hard, but I don't flaunt it." She signaled, checked her mirrors, and pulled onto the main boulevard. That's when the flashing lights erupted behind her. Not a gentle yellow warning, but a sudden, blinding, aggressive wash of blue and red. Aliyah sighed. She knew this script. She pulled over immediately, hands placed clearly on the steering wheel, just like she'd taught her own teenage brother 1,000 times. Waiting it, officer who approached was a giant of a man. His name tag read Thorne. Sergeant Marcus Thorne. A name whispered in precinct hallways and shouted in courtrooms for all the wrong reasons. He was all bulk and arrogance. A man who saw the badge not as a shield for the community, but as a weapon for his ego. He approached the window slowly, the deliberate, intimidating pace of someone savoring a moment of perceived power. "Good morning, officer," Aliyah said, her voice calm and steady. He didn't respond. He just leaned in, his sunglasses hid his eyes, but his sneer was visible. Driver's license and registration. Now, his tone was ice, instantly escalating the mundane stop into a confrontation. Aliyah moved slowly, deliberately, reaching into the console. "Is there a reason for the stop, Sergeant?" He slammed his hand on the roof of her car. "BM." The sound echoed in the quiet street. Aliyah didn't flinch, but the adrenaline spiked cold in her veins. "You'll let me ask the questions?" "Ma'am." He dragged out the word ma'am like a thinly veiled insult. He took her documents. Glancing at the name, Aliyah Vance, he squinted at her address. It was in one of the city's affluent, newly developed neighborhoods. "Nice neighborhood for that heap," he muttered, loud enough to ensure she heard the disrespect. The humiliation started to build. It wasn't just a stop. It was a performance. He walked to the back of the car, shone his light directly into the trunk seam. Then the license plate. He spent 10 minutes doing nothing, but making her wait. 10 minutes where her mind cycled through every safety protocol, every news headline, every lesson learned by a black woman navigating a world that often sees her as a threat before a person that he finally returned. Documents in hand, looking satisfied with the torment he'd inflicted. "Your tag light is out. $350 fine and a mandatory repair notice." "Sergeant," Aliyah said, maintaining eye contact. "The tag light was replaced last week. It was working when I left the garage." He laughed, a deep, dismissive, guttural sound. "Sure it was. You're trying to tell me I don't know what a busted light looks like, Miss Vance?" He leaned closer, invading her space. "Or maybe you just can't afford the maintenance on your little starter car, driving through the Captain's Row neighborhood." That was the jab. That was the moment her carefully constructed calm shattered. The dramatic irony was so thick. You could taste it. He thought he was humiliating a struggling newcomer, someone trespassing in his jurisdiction. He had no idea who he was talking to. "Sergeant," Aliyah repeated, her voice dropping to a dangerous, measured low. "I assure you, I can afford the maintenance." She paused, taking a breath that wasn't about fear, but control. "I also assure you that the tag light is functional. Perhaps your equipment needs calibration." His jaw tightened. He ripped the ticket off the pad. "Sign here, or we can escalate this. Your choice." Aliyah looked at the signature line. She looked at his smug, self-important face, and then she smiled. Not a fearful smile, a cold, surgical smile. "I'll sign the ticket, Sergeant Thorne, but I won't be needing a mandatory repair notice." She signed her name in precise, elegant script. He tossed the copy back at her. "Have a nice day, Vance. Get that junk fixed." He turned and strode back to his cruiser, the victor of a petty, one-sided battle. He didn't even wait for her to pull away. He just pulled out into traffic, siren off, lights flashing for a split second, a final flourish of his authority. Aliyah didn't move for a long minute. She just stared at the ticket, then at the time on her dash. 6:15 a.m. She was going to be late, but not for the gym. The clock in the Central Precinct headquarters lobby read 7:55 a.m. The entire third floor was buzzing with nervous energy. The city's new police captain arrived today. The rumors had flown for weeks. An outside hire, a reformer, Someone brought in to clean house after a series of high-profile incidents. Sergeant Marcus Thorne swaggered into the briefing room, 15 minutes late. Per his usual custom, that he spotted his friend, Officer Davis, and clapped him hard on the back. Another stellar morning. Huh, Davis? Max smirked. Pulled over some kid in a hoop tie trying to creep through captain's row. Teach him a lesson. Davis looked uncomfortable. You sure you should be talking like that, Mac? New captain, remember? Word is, they're watching everyone. Please, Mac scoffed, leaning against the wall. They always hire some pencil pusher from admin. They need guys like me on the street. They need muscle. The room suddenly went silent. A hush that could stop a freight train. The chief of police, a tired-looking man named Henderson, walked to the podium. Beside him stood a figure Mac hadn't seen before, a black woman. Impeccably dressed. Not in a cheap suit, but a tailored, powerful navy ensemble. Her hair was in a sharp, professional bun. She exuded an authority that had nothing to do with her size and everything to do with her presence. Mac leaned forward, trying to get a better look at her face. It looked familiar, but she was wearing glasses now, and her expression was pure, unwavering command. Chief Henderson cleared his throat, his voice cracking slightly. Thank you all for being here. As you know, the city has appointed a new leader to head this precinct. He turned, placing a hand on the woman's shoulder. I am pleased to introduce your new police captain. She holds a PhD in criminology from Georgetown, specialized in institutional accountability, and has spent the last 10 years leading massive successful reforms in Boston's 5th District. The details washed over Mac, meaning nothing. He was focused only on the woman. Henderson paused for the ultimate reveal. Please welcome Captain Dr. Aliyah Vance. The name hit Sergeant Marcus Thorne like a physical blow. His blood ran cold. The arrogance drained from his face, leaving only a sickly, green-tinged pallor. He felt the heavy, impossible weight of the ticket he had issued just 2 hours ago. Nice neighborhood for that heap. You trying to tell me I don't know what a busted light looks like, Miss Vance? Captain Vance stepped forward to the podium. Her eyes swept the room, not with anger, but with an unnerving, professional calm. She didn't look at Mac immediately. She addressed the entire force. Good morning. I'm Captain Vance, and I'm excited to be here. The cheers were weak, the applause tentative. The tension was overwhelming. Then, her eyes found Sergeant Thorne. She stared at him, holding his gaze across the briefing room, and the dramatic irony was agonizing. The silence grew so profound. You could hear the city traffic outside. She lifted a hand, signaling for absolute quiet. Before we begin, I want to address one item of business that I find illustrative. She reached into the pocket of her tailored blazer and pulled something out. It was a slip of paper. A traffic ticket. The entire room watched, baffled. At 6:05 a.m. this morning, Captain Vance said, her voice clear and carrying, I was issued this citation by one of your officers. She held it up. The glare on the paper was unmistakable. The charge, faulty rear license plate illumination. Fine, $350. She looked directly at Sergeant Thorne, who was now sweating profusely, his hands clenched into useless fists. Sergeant Thorne, you are present, correct? Mac could only manage a choked whisper. Yes, Captain. Sergeant, she continued, never breaking her professional composure. I'm holding the ticket you issued to me. And since you questioned my word on the state of my vehicle, I took the liberty of having my mechanic verify the equipment. He confirmed the bulb is functional. She placed the ticket on the podium. I am your new captain, and I can assure you that every penny this precinct spends, every interaction it has with the public, and every policy we enforce will be rooted in integrity. Sergeant Thorne, the city did not hire me to write traffic tickets. The city hired me to address a clear lack of professional accountability within this department. She didn't yell. She didn't even sound angry. She sounded disappointed. That was worse. I will not waste the public's time or resources investigating a spurious traffic stop. That is not how we start a new day. She let the statement hang heavy in the air. Mac Thorne, the man who thrived on intimidation, was completely defeated by her composure. She didn't finish him yet. She had to deliver the lesson. Captain Vance looked back at the assembled officers, her voice now ringing with true authority. I want you all to look at that ticket. It is a symbol. It's a symbol of how quickly an assumption can become an abuse of power. Sergeant Thorne saw a black woman in a 10-year-old car in a rich neighborhood and decided she was a target for humiliation. He decided to leverage his authority to insult her character and question her ability to maintain her property. She pointed to the ticket. He didn't see a neighbor. He didn't see a citizen. He certainly didn't see a police captain. He saw another. And that, gentlemen, is where the accountability begins. She picked up the citation again, holding it between two fingers. As your captain, I will not tolerate this behavior. We serve the public. We do not police our egos. She looked back at Mac, whose career had just ended in an early morning traffic stop. Sergeant Thorne, report to Chief Henderson's office immediately. You are relieved of duty pending a full internal review of your conduct, focusing on a long history of professional abuses that I will now be overseeing personally. Mac Thorne stumbled backward, his face a mask of disbelief and horror. The whispers in the room became a roar. But Captain Vance simply raised her voice above the noise. This precinct is under new command. We will be fair, we will be just, and we will treat every single person in this city with dignity, regardless of what car they drive or what neighborhood they are in. Because today, the underdog driving the heap is the one signing your paycheck. The emotional hook had delivered its promise. Justice was swift, unexpected, and devastatingly satisfying. Always remember, the person you choose to humiliate in your moment of power, that person might be the one holding the keys to your future. The system might bend, but the truth and accountability will eventually stand up straight. And sometimes, all it takes is a seemingly insignificant traffic stop to discover that the woman you underestimated is the one writing the final order. Justice was served, not with a roar, but with a cold, elegant signature on a transfer of power. Like, comment, and subscribe for more stories of justice, truth, and power from behind the scene.